John Deere 7210-7410 with a ZF axle. So if you've got this tractor with this axle, you know how hard the parts are to find, how expensive they are if you can get them. And when you have a major failure and you're looking for a replacement axle, we would typically suggest that you look for a different axle just because of part availability. So typically it's not greasing these is the number one culprit, and when it blows them out, that whole thing just comes off and you can't fix it. Second is differential ring and pinion, and that's what's wrong. This is a core, that's what's wrong with this. And I think that's what's wrong with the customer that needs to get his going right now. So I'm going to show you what we give him. So talking with the customer, what do you do with the tractor? How do you work it, etc. Like everybody, he's overworking the tractor. He's running it all day, round bales, in the muck, and his standard duty axle gave out. So if you're not going to upgrade your tractor at any given time, you like the older series, we can still put a 6M6R axle on it. The benefit of it being a 30+ year newer axle is part availability. So your grease points are a little easier to access. It's got a much larger steering cylinder, so that's going to improve your steering, especially in the muck with a loader. Tie rods are significantly larger. The axle is the same distance from inside to inside, but your Planetary gears are just so much bigger. So that's going to prevent a lot of, as long as you keep it serviced, etc., it's just going to prevent a lot of issues for you. Also, these are the ones that we put the greasable kingpin in. These were not greasable. So you get a lot newer axle, a lot heavier. You get rid of the old design. Nothing's cheap on these. Nothing's really cheap on these, but it's a really good upgrade. Use the same drive shaft. If you have the metal line that runs across on your steering cylinder, then you can either just run straight lines to it, or you just get there's a little conversion that Deere makes that you can get. Now, if you have fenders on your ZF, you'll need different mounts. And this is the only mid to large frame axle that had an 8-bolt hub, so you have to get away from that. Customer sent pictures. We'll match him up with his centers. In situations where they have some like old design that you can't get parts for, can't get the centers for, whatever, then we'll just swap him out rims and centers, and he has to get his tires mounted. I know there's a little extra to all that, but if you're going to spend that type of money, I mean, these are $25,000 axle. If you're going to spend that type of money, you know, a little bit more is not too bad. So John Deere 7210, 7410, 7510, it has a 10-bolt axle, but it's the same upgrade because it still goes to the bigger, newer style axle. And that's how we convert them.